folks, Dagan here, and today I've got a demo video which is very different to the video that I intended to make when I woke up this morning. Today I'm going to be showcasing for you not one Tone City pedal, not two, not five, but every single Tone City pedal I can get my daft Geordie mitts on. Because, right? Because I was sat cross-legged on this floor of my little home studio with all them out in front of me, just picking and choosing which ones I really enjoyed and which ones I felt like I could showcase great for you guys. The wonderful folk at Andertons sent me up all the Tone City pedals to basically, like I said, showcase for you my favourites and what I think I can get the most out of. Andertons, of course, are sponsoring this video and indeed this channel, but more about Andertons in a second. And I was sat cross-legged on the deck, and I've played a lot of these micro, more affordable pedals in my time. There's so many different ones out there, but everyone's always spoke about Tone City coming out of Andertons, and I've never really sat down and played one before, so I just kept plugging them in, one after another, and going, yeah, that's good, that sounds like a tube screamer, that sounds like an OCD, that sounds clonish, let's say. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a mammoth video, which is all time-stamped in the description box down below. I'm going to break it up into sections, so an overdrive section, distortion section, modulation, time-based, fuzz, and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I'm self-employed now. I can do whatever I want on YouTube, so I'm going to demo every single Tone City pedal out there for the people watching this, so you can find the perfect little pedal for your pedal board. Because you can fit a Tone City pedal on any pedal board, whether your board's small or big. There's definitely enough space to fit one of these affordable, great little guys on your board. So without further ado, signal chain, Gibson SG, Blackstar i58 wireless system into the front of the pedals. I'm going into the PV6505 mini head, which is just running a little bit crunchy. I'll change that as and when. Going into a 2-note Torpedo Captor X, then into a little zoom thing, and then into your lovely ears. I don't know why I'm faffing around so much. It's going to be a long video. So let's get into it. So let's get stuck in at the start with overdrives. My favorite kind of pedal, they all do the same thing. They overdrive the front of your amp, but there's so many different flavors and textures and stuff you can get with different variants of them. And it's all showcased wonderfully with Tone City. Like, I've never played a Tone City pedal before really sitting with this video. I'm having a lot of fun. First one I want to show you is the Bad Horse. Based off a famous, very expensive pedal, which has a horse on the front. Well, half man, half horse, let's say. Super easy to use. All these pedals are easy to use. 3 controls: gain, volume, tone. I'm kind of running it the way a lot of people run clones. So the drive's down, the volume's up, so it's pushing the front end of the amplifier, and the tone's just halfway up. It's very warm and responsive under your fingertips. Very responsive to the pick attack as well, so when you pick light, it's like when you dig in. Keeps sounds like I'm going to stop playing Oasis there, doesn't it? Turn the gain up a bit so you can see how much drive you can get. So that with this kind of overdrive, it colours the entire dynamic range almost. It's not mid-pokey, it's not really bass heavy or trebly. It's like Goldilocks' porridge. and just perfect in between. So that's the Bad Horse. Moving on to the Dry Martini, which you'll be able to tell initially is a lot darker. There's definitely some notes in there I checked yesterday. But this is more OCD-esque, let's say. So it's thicker, it's chewier. Same kind of setup as the rest of them. You've got a drive, volume and tone, but it's got a strong control, just like the OCD has a little switch up top as well. So it's a little bit more fluffier, but not in a way where it's like flubby. There's still a lot of direct attack. That's the tone up a bit and the strength switch off, so it's less strong. That's a tasty dry martini if I've ever tried. You know, to make that funny little joke there, but I wasn't really a big fan. I'm not the biggest fan of the OCD, but for this, mostly because of the price and stuff, but with this price, to get that tone, if you're going to have a studio, you always need an OCD somewhere in your studio. And yeah, for the price, that absolutely nails it. Next up, we have the Mandragora, which I believe is like Love Pedal inspired. You'll also notice that the Mandragora has an extra control up top as well. So gain, volume, tone, but a pre-control, which is presence, for the kind of the upper high end. Those are kind of sparkles a bit more. Very sizzly overdrive. It's nice, I like it. Moving on to the Nobleman, the Nobleman. Now this is a pedal which its name gives it away, based off of Nobles, the little green box that looks a bit like a Tube Screamer, but isn't a Tube Screamer. Again, another very thick sounding overdrive. The Nobles ODR1 is famously the secret weapon of a lot of guitar players. People don't really know what it is, what it's all about. This is a nice little affordable way of getting one. volume up, gain down. So even though it's a thick wall of distortion, all the notes are kind of singing on through. Again, for reference. I love a Nobles pedal. And again, not a lot of money. Everything's linked in the description box down below so you can get one yourself. Next up, the Kafir Lime, which is very little green pedal based. As I expect from a little green pedal, however, this one, unlike other little green pedals, has a high and low control, as well as a volume and a gain, so a little bit more tone shaping for a screamer style pedal. Again, that mid-range poke we all know and love from this kind of pedal. Great. Who doesn't love a screamer? Especially with the extra little tonal capabilities, tone shaping capabilities as this little guy. Right, let's do a little reset for a second. We're starting off strong with this second lineup of overdrives, starting with a double Dirple, which is the Peter Norris special. This is the dual pedal, the double version. You can get the little single version, which is the left-hand side of this pedal. And I don't play anything like Peter Norris. But it doesn't mean you can't enjoy this kick-ass pedal, because it is great. So it's a two-pedal setup essentially, based in one pedal. Left side is the Dirple. It's on before the right-hand side is actually a modified version of the Bluesman, which we'll talk about in a second. The Dirple's actually a modified Mandragora, but instead of having a presence control, it's got a mid control just down here. So both channels have a gain, tone, and volume. There's a mid control on the Dirple, and on the double side, there's a little smooth or bright switch, which I'll get to in a second. It's a really fast, kind of low-end gain sound. When you bring in the Dirple channel, I'm going to do both at once. there. Obviously turn that on for boosts, for solo boosts if you want both gain channels running at once, or you can run them independently. So, where am I? I think tonally this is my favourite of the bunch. The Nobleman's a close second. Just a lot to grab onto with the notes and stuff. It sounds very metally when there's both on at once. So that's Pete's fabulous double Derple. Glorious thing. That, and like I say, the regular Derple is linked in the description box just down there. Next up we have the Bluesman, which is just the unmodified version of the right hand side of the double purple. Double Derple. It's kind of obviously very bluesy, blues driver-ish. What is cool though when you turn the volume down, it actually cleans up the amp. Basically got that lovely warm flavour that a blues kind of pedal of this ilk will give you. That's the Bluesman. We go over to the Sweet Cream, which is just a lovely creamy overdrive, as you'd expect. You want to achieve that woman tone and the rest. 3 controls: gain, volume and tone. I'll do something to make it resolve there at the end. So the Sweet Cream, 2 seconds. There we go. It's incredibly amp-like in its tonality and response and stuff. I don't know if I said that was a tone control before on the right. It's not. It's a touch control. My apologies. What it does is it changes the way the pedal reacts to what you're playing. Again, in a very amp-like way. So It changes the EQ and the compression of the pedal. So it's very fat sounding, but very sweet at the same time. You can chew the overtones and stuff. Again, for reference. Wonderful little guy. Moving swiftly on to the last overdrive of the bunch. It's the King of Blues, which I'm assuming is very King of Tone-esque. Like the two pedals in one design, the controls and stuff as Engine A and Engine B, each with their own gain, volume and tone controls. Very different tonal characteristics between Engine A and Engine B. Put them both all together if you want. It's very nice under your fingertips, like when you grab onto the note. Which is why the King of Tone is so bloody popular. Running out of notes to play. So that's a little rundown of all the Tone City overdrives that I love so much, what to do, and what they're all about. Let's move on to the distortions then. Now for the distortions. I've got 6 to show you, but before we get into it, I just want to quickly give a big shout out to Andertons for sending up these pedals for me to check out and therefore show you guys, and for sponsoring this video and indeed this channel. The Andertons team are absolutely fantastic, and we all know it's the best place on the entire planet to buy your music gear. They've always been the best, so we all know this, and they will continue to be the best till the end of time. Bass stuff, why did I start with bass stuff? Guitar stuff, bass stuff, pedals, amps, effects, PA systems, drum kits, synthesizers, pianos, and everything in between. The ship worldwide are the best damn company on the entire planet to get your music gear from, and everything is linked in the description box down below. All the pedals, all the rest of the gear I'm using, so you can check it out at Andertons. So a big thank you to those guys for sponsoring this video, and for letting me check out the pedals. Let's get into it. So I'm running a lot cleaner now than I was before. Because famously, as opposed to overdrive pedals, which manipulate and already, like, they just add some seasoning to your tone and overdrive the tone that's already there, distortion pedals are quite different because they totally change the tone. The tone going in is very different to the tone that comes out. It distorts it, like an amp would distort it. And we'll start with my personal favourite, the Golden Plexi. Mark II, they changed it in 2022 and tightened everything up a bit, but this is the Golden Plexi. It reacts like a proper plexi. Depending on how hard you pick, the dynamics of the guitar, the volume of your guitar, it reacts in such a wonderful way, and it's very easy to use. One big gain control, how much distortion do you want? Volume, how loud do you want the pedal to be? And tone, how bright or dark do you want your tone to be? It's got that snap, that plexi snap that we all aspire to have, and when you turn the gain up, it maintains that snap. It's just pokier and gainier. So that's a Golden Plexi 2 right there. Moving on to the rodent, the Mickey, which is a rodent, you know, Mickey Mouse and that. And what's a rodent pedal? It's a little black rat. That famous kind of nasal top end, which rats are famous for. Gain, volume and tone, but there's a more gain switch. It was on the more gain switch, so let's turn the gain up with the dial and then add more gain again in a second. That tone is just so iconic, like that instantly recognizable thickness. Use the rat all the time, but into a distorted amp, so it's not the same kind of tone. But if you want to get the Nuno vibe, run this into a cranked amplifier, and you'll be pretty close. So that was the Mickey. I'm not going to show you the Wild Throw yet, the Reverbs pedal, because that's a modified version of this. The Wildfire. Which is a 100-watt screaming modern version of the Plexi. Pretty much. Think that kind of modern Marshall vibe. Two different kind of clippings, like clipping stages, with a little switch up top. So that's the Wildfire right there. Now the Wild Throw, Reverbs pedal, is a slightly modified version of the Wildfire. Same kind of layout, so gain, volume, and tone, but instead of a clipping stage up top, there's a more gain switch. It's fine to modulate keys every now and then, and you forget where you are. There's been a lot of pedals as of yet, I keep forgetting what I'm doing. It's got a lovely snap on the top end, hasn't it? But it's not mushy. A lot of pedals like this with this much gain and get really mushy, but as you heard there, you'd hear all the notes ring out in those big stupid chords. So that was a Wild Throw. Black Tea now, which is one of my favourite cranked amps on the entire planet. It's an AC30, so gain, tone and volume, all that kind of good stuff. And with these kind of pedals, I like to crank the gain a bit and do the Brian May thing where to clean it up you just roll the volume down on your guitar. Still got that lovely kind of sizzle that you get with an AC cranked, but when you want to you can Something like that, isn't it? Ha. Out of all the distortion pedals I've shown you thus far, I think I'm most excited to show you the Holy Aura, because it's based off American distortion sounds, so like Soldanos, Mesa Boogies, and the like. So it's not, in essence, a dual pedal, because there's not two distortion sounds inside of it. On the left turns the main gain portion of the pedal on and off. 3-band EQ, gain control, volume control. You've got a presence and a tight control down there as well, so you can really home in your distortion sound. But on the right, there's a 20 dB gain boost. So you can either use it with the pedal on or off, I guess, or use it just as a clean boost for your amp. But when you get that tied in with it's a monster of a pedal in the most wonderful way. You get that wall of tight, focused tone, but it's so clear. That's the Holy Aura in all of its holy glory. Next up we have the Tone City Fuzz Pedals. Got the Matcha Fuzz right here and the Fux Fuzz on the right, F-U-X-X Fuzz. The Matcha is like a pie style fuzz. So like, even the Big Muff back in the day said it was a distortion pedal over a fuzz pedal, so you can do both with it. But it's that good tone we all know and love. Super easy to use, one big gain control in the middle, volume control, tone control. It's that big in-your-face tone from like There's so many artists like Pumpkins, White Stripes. Whereas the Fox Fuzz is way less subtle. I'll just say that. It's that gnarly old school fuzz, like the broken kind of fuzz tone. Same controls. So you've got a volume, a gain, and a tone control, but a little switch, which activates an octave. It's that classic, crazy as all hell. To get that kind of crazy raunchy sound, you'd normally have to spend a lot of money on a very odd boutique pedal, but not with the Fox Fuzz from Tone City, and it's got a great name as well. Now for some delicious modulation pedals, starting with the Tone City Angel Wing Chorus. Now I've seen so many people harp on about these pedals, there's a good reason why. Brilliant. You've got a rate control in the middle for how fast you want it to go, depth control, how deep you want the sound waves to be, and a volume control up on the top left. But I'll tell you what. That's a gorgeous sounding chorus right there. Move on to the tremolo. Who doesn't love a good tremolo? Does what it says on the tin. Again, a speed in the middle, depth control, and a volume. Be as subtle as you want. And finally, for a phaser, we have the Summer Orange, and I'm just gonna turn the gain up a bit for some Van Halen stuff, why not? It's not as phase 90-ish as some would expect. But it's phasing. It's got a rate control, a depth control, and a feedback control. Delicious thing, delicious orange. And last but certainly not least, we have the time-based effects. I'm going to start off with a Tone City Tiny Spring. The amp is completely dry and everything's going into the effects loop. I just love cranking reverb off the bat, but you can be subtle. There's one control, how much reverb do you want? That was all the way up, now it's at like 10 o'clock. Who doesn't love a little bit of reverb? Moving on to the tape machine, which is a tape echo. A straight up tape echo. As you can tell, a real tape echo, well, a real emulation of a tape echo because it changes as you in real time. as my wireless dies. Give me 2 seconds, I'll grab a cable. The thing about delay pedals is when you hit a wrong note, everyone knows you've done it because it keeps playing back. So super simple, time, repeats, volume. That's the Tape Machine by Tone City. We're going to the last pedal of today. If you've lasted this long, awesome. This is the Heavenly Lake. Now it's 2 pedals in one. You've got a reverb and an echo. So the left hand side, the reverb. So you've got a wetness control for how wet you want the signal to be, a tone and a decay for that reverb. And it's a very ethereal reverb, almost modulated compared to like the spring you get in the Tiny Spring. On the right hand side, that turns on the echo. All the echo controls up here, but you'll notice there's depth and speed controls for modulation on said echo. Actually, I might go fully clean for this one. I'm forgetting what to play, why I'm even here, and all that kind of jazz with this pedal. 1, it's ethereal, and 2, I've been playing guitar for hours now. So, ladies and gentlemen, I believe that's all the sight specs and sounds I can give you from the multitude, the plethora, the cornucopia of Tone City pedals the fine folk at Andertons have sent me. Everything is linked in the description box down below. Comment if you have a Tone City pedal, if you want one, and which one would be your first choice. That Angel Wings chorus is amazing to me, as is the Holy Aura. Those are my choices. Let me know yours. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe. Find even more of me over on Patreon, all the cool behind the scenes things and extra pieces of content that you don't see here on YouTube. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.